everyone. Hello Saurav. Thank you Kashish for inviting me here as a speaker, and I'm really excited to share my insights and experience with all of you. So I'm Vikash and I am currently working as a research scholar here at University of Florida in agronomy department, and I joined here in October 2024, and before that I passed my undergrad in June 2024 from Chaudhary Charan Singh Haryana Agriculture University, Hisar. And after that, I decided to come here in US and study master's degree from University of Florida. So I'm sharing my experience, how these things went, and how this opportunity I got with all of you. I started working on these things in my final year, where I decided to go to abroad and study further my degrees. I was looking for any opportunities in the US to study master's degree in agriculture, especially, and I was looking at YouTube videos, websites, university websites, what's their requirements. Most of my senior, I talked with my seniors also, how can I got funded degree to pursue my master's degree in US. And then I got to know that there is many chances that you can secure graduate research assistantships here in US, and the whole degree is funded by a university. You don't need to pay anything. So after that, we have to make a roadmap, like how can we secure a graduate research assistantship. It's a competitive process to secure an assistantship here in US, and then there are some exams you have to go through, and preparations, and looking for the opportunities, looking for any universities, any listing of opportunities they listed, and contacting with the many professors, sending mails to them. So in my final year in October 2023, I gave my IELTS, and then GRE is another exam that you needed to secure an assistantship, that is most universities required, but in my case it is waived by University of Florida, and so I didn't need to give that exam. And after that, you need to go through the university's website, searching your interests and faculty with your interest match, and contacting that faculty, how can you interest align with that faculty's current research. And after that, you can get an, if the faculty likes your CV, your likes your profile, he will contact you, talks about what's ongoing research projects are in his lab, what makes your interest alignment with him, and then he or she will take you an interview. And that's the same in my case. I contacted many professors, mailing them every day about my sending my CVs, my profiles, my research interest, and I got many replies, but some of them don't have the funding, some have fundings, but they don't want any more students in their lab. In my case, I got an opportunity here in UF, and my research was properly aligned with that professors. He take my interview. We discuss about more opportunities. How can this research I will be fit in? And after that, I got this opportunity to work here as a research assistant.
Nice.
Yeah. And students need to if they want to come here in US studying for their masters, their PhD, they have to make a proper plan and path. They need to start preparing 6-7 months before they decided to go to study in US. There are 3 major intakes where student can start any masters and PhD positions: spring intake and summer and fall. They need to decide which intakes they want to be in and start according to that. Yeah, this is my journey and how I got this position.
Nice, nice. So because I have just wanted to know a little bit like how was your journey like till now? So of course the study will be very different from like India, right? So
Yeah,
like how you feel different like your studies in US and compared to India, you did BSc agriculture from Haryana, right? So
yes,
what
yes.
like what different you find like difference you find in both the universities, right?
Yeah, like here we in US we don't focus on theoretical majorly. They are more focusing on practical things. Theoretical is just about 20% of your journey. Like you are studying, 80% is more focus on practical things in the field. And back in India, like we major focus on theoretical teachers teaching in the classes, and then students make notes and give the exams and like these things going on. But here
Yeah.
you will see that they are more focused on practical. They don't give you like so many study materials. Do you just read to book, this material? Like they make experiments, they conduct projects in their own farm fields with the farmers. You have to be there with the farmers, how your experiment is going on and how the research is conducted. That's the major difference, I think, from India and in US.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, like we got lot of opportunities to learning with directly within farmers field. And that's the agriculture. Like we don't need more theoretical portion, we need more practical things
Practical.
to learn. Yeah.
Beautiful. So yeah, go ahead. Like anyone have any questions? Like Saurav, yeah, anyone?
Yeah, if anybody have any specific questions relating to how, like if a student wants in his final year, in pre-final years wants to be in US for his masters, how his journey will be, how he make his decisions, how he shortlist university, any kind of questions if you have, you can ask me.
Sure. Yeah, sir. So, could you kindly share with us your current research project, which impact on agriculture related?
Yeah,
Brief research
sure.
project.
Yeah, sure. Like we are currently working, I'm currently majorly working in 2 or 3 projects I'm involved in. First of all, we are involved in best management practices for nitrogen management. Here, like in Florida, we have facing lot of nitrogen leaching problems. Like there's sandy soils, and now when we farmers apply nitrogen by broadcasting and bending methods, the nitrogen is leached down. So our research is like how in the corn and peanut production we manage these things, like the nitrogen won't go deep down and plants have that availability of nitrogen till the harvest, and like farmers don't need to put more and more fertilizers. Yeah, we majorly work on the nutrient management, like here in Florida, sandy soils, and because of these farmers facing a lot of problems with the nutrients and fertilizers. Our major research is focused in both. We are working in peanut and corn to management their nutrients and things. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, thank you, sir. And so one question is there, like, tell me about the scholarship. Yeah, scholarship.
Yeah,
Sir,
my
please
pro
tell about scholarship.
for me, my project is fully funded by University of Florida, and I got paid in scholarship each month for my like working with in this project. My professor paid me for this, and like different kind of scholarship student can achieve here. Like if the he wants to be in a research assistance, like he have to work in the lab, and then professor will provide funds for his work and assistantship. And most of if you secure any these kind of assistantships and positions, university waive the your fees for your studies and provide additional stipend for like your food and for your hostel fees and for your living expenses.
Okay, sir. So, what
Yeah.
what is the challenges you faced regarding these research? Like, what is the challenges and what is the method of the research? Challenges, especially you, what type of challenges you faced?
Yeah, like after coming here in US, like first month and in second month I faced a lot of challenges because we didn't did any kind of this kind of research back in India. Like we don't have such kind of big machineries and these technologies, and more on like we have to work with a lot of data. As I was in undergrad, I didn't did any kind of these activities, but after arriving here, I learned from my seniors how these things works and how can like you can interrupt these kinds of thing in your life. And there's also thing, yeah, these kind of challenges I faced back in my starting here. But you will find like
Yes.
your staff,
Yes.
your lab mates, your seniors, your professor, they know that you come from India where these kind of research not going on, and these things, they will help you a lot in learning these things and to familiar with these things to you. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And sir, what is the most promising emerging technologies in like in agronomy and crop science, and how do you see them in shaping the future related to in agriculture field, sir?
Yeah. Like after I'm arriving here, I saw a very technology in placement of fertilizers, how farmers can use these technology. Like they have like very big machines, and like by with fertilizer can directly placed near the roots. Like farm, they don't need to spread the fertilizer in the field. They use that machine. Fertilizer will place directly near to the root zone, and that will help them to like reduce the fertilizer use also the amount. And that is the most significant technology I have seen here. And also they are using precision agriculture tools in every research. They use like map the field, you look the how the soil is in the field, and according to that they make the package and practices of that crop.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So one question, two question is there, sir. Like,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
about the assistantship and how you got assistantship?
Like here in US, for us agriculture students, you will find that there are two kinds of major assistantship student can secure in masters and in his PhD. Like first is graduate research assistantships and second is teaching assistantships. Most of students are in graduate research assistantships that is provided by their professor. Like it's kind of assistantship in which you work with the professors with other students helping them in their projects, and on behalf professor will provide you living expenses and like some more things for your food and living expenses. He will provide you money, and for this you have to like achieve a good project. Like you have to send your CV to professors, like I want to work in these projects, I'm interested in this project. If the professor have fundings on that project, from that funding he will pay your tuition fees and providing you the living expenses and things. And in teaching assistantships, like you have a role of teaching. You, if you are in good at any particular subject, back in like any subjects, they give you a role of teaching to the undergrad students here and other students. You have to take a lecture 1 hour, 2 hours daily and teaching them. And on behalf that he will provide you money.
Guys, any questions, sir? We have that time, so drop the question in the chat box.
Yeah, if anybody have any kind of questions, you can ask without hesitations.
Yeah.
That how has studying at the University of Florida, right? We can say you are also pursuing your qualification from the Florida University, right? So, sir,
Yeah.
how pursuing your this qualification from the Florida University have shaped your perspective in the agricultural and the crop science, sir? That was also the question, which actually, so honestly, overtly, if I'll be discussing with you, and I'm not from the agricultural domain, but like being the working in this corporation and organization, I have also become kind of a bit, very cautious about it, that I also want to learn about it. So that's why I want to
Mm.
ask this question from you, sir.
Yeah, like in University of Florida, like most of research is in agriculture is going towards the climate change, like how these climate things affect our livings of human beings. They majorly focus on like agriculture is how can impact the ongoing climate change situations in the world. They majorly focus on these kinds of things, like making the practices that will make less impact on the climate. And this is a major problem human are facing currently in the world. I think like waste from agriculture, poisons in foods, and everything's like there's everything in we are facing problems. Climate change, like you are facing everything, and the research is in how can they this like reduce the impacts of our human activities on climate. And that's a good thing I think they are working on. And they are like reducing the amount of fertilizers used, amount of poisonous amount of residues in the crops and things that will impact humans health.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
two question has raised, sir. Yeah, Saurav is raised. How has studying at the University of Florida shaped your
Mahima,
perspective? Oh, you already.
I have, yeah, I have already asked
Okay,
this question.
okay. So one more
Yeah,
question,
like
like any universities offer fully funded MS programs in soil science or horticulture. From your point of view, do I need to contact a professor in advance for research opportunities?
yeah, like these things works like this. When you have like prepare your profile, first of all you have to create a good CV in which you have your research experience focused on publications, your internships, and your like any kind of volunteering experience. Make a very brief, make a very good CV, and then you need to like take your exams, standardized English exams, TOEFL and IELTS. And if the some universities you require GRE, some web, like if it's depend on you, you want to give GRE, then go ahead with the GRE. It will enhance your profile. Create a profile and then contact the faculty of your interests. Go on the university websites, search for your interest, match your interest with that faculty, contact him with the email and write a very good email that this is my research experience, this is my CV, this is my profile, and I want to be in your research and I want to work on your projects. Then he will like get a chance that if the professor likes his profile, the professor will contact him, offer a research assistantship, and inviting him or her to join in his program. This is the way like anyone can secure a graduate assistantship.
Uh, yeah, so one question is there. Do universities in countries like Australia requires a minimum family income of 12 lakh of MS or MBA programs? Are there any such conditions in your universities?
Yeah, like in US, you don't need to require to show funds in your family accounts, like your father have a account balance of minimum this and that. But in Australia, universities require that you have a certain amount of money and all funds in your account. But in here, if you are in US, if you are joining as a research assistant, if you are securing any position, you don't need to show any kinds of fund in your account.
Okay,
Yeah.
sir.
But if you are going through a conventional traditional way, like directly applying in the universities without any scholarships, and then you need to show your funds, like you are able to pay your living expenses here in US, and you are able to pay your tuition fees. That's a certain amount of money you need to show in your account.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. One more question is yes, sir. What are the chances of getting an in-state tuitions waiver or funding?
In state tuition and funding waivers are like here for they are for the like residents of US, but for the our us from the Indian people, from any international students, if they securing assistance, if their tuition fees and is waived off, and they're like receiving fundings for their living expenses also. And like many others, outsources scholarship also going on, like Nehru, Bright Nehru scholarships, and many others. They are like tough competitive scholarship. Your profile is really good, and you think you can as able to secure that kind of scholarship, then you can apply. They are open year round and apply on those scholarships. And if you are able to achieve that, receive that scholarship, they will also give you a tuition fees waiver. And yeah, but for the agriculture students, I wanna suggest all of you, like this is my suggestions. Most of students secure assistantships, and that is the best and easiest way to waive off your tuition fees and managing your living expenses in US.
Uh, One question is there. What's the minimum percentage required for graduate research scholarship?
There is like no minimum percentage in your undergrad or in your degree is required. Like if you have good 70-80% and you have like other all over your profile is matter, not only the focus on your percentage, what the percentage in your degree. That is not only the one thing that the university looks and professor looks. They looks all over your profile is how it is your profile, like you have your achievements in like certifications, you how many certifications you have, how many internship you have, how much work experience you have, and how much like your work ethics. And they look all over your profile, not only focus on the percentage in your undergrad.
Okay, sir. What are the job prospects after completing an MS in soil science or horticulture in the USA?
Yeah, like if you complete your master's degree here in US, you have like good opportunities. You can come back to India, join as assistant professor in any universities you are able to. And also in here in US, you can join industries in the fertilizer sections if you pursue master's degree from soil science and agronomy. And like you can join as field assistants. Like farmers have lots of big fields here, and they hired the master's graduate here and paying a lot of money to them. And also you can work as field officer here in also in US. And these kinds of opportunities you can get after completing masters from here.
So one question is there, like, is agriculture comes under STEM or non-STEM course?
Yeah, agriculture science comes under the STEM courses. Like sciences courses are in STEM, and this is like it will help also in your futures. Like you get, if you pursue your masters completing 2 years masters from here, you will get 3 years OPT period. Like after completing master, you can work in 3 years after masters here. But the MBA courses, like agribusiness courses, they are not coming under the STEM. You don't have any OPT period after completing your degree.
Like, so one question is there, like, I have listened in some university there is non-STEM. Why?
Mahima, like let if he wanted to interact one to one, let him interact with Vikas.
Yeah,
Okay, sure,
like
ma'am. Okay,
Nandan,
okay.
you can interact by unmuting. No worries. If he want, he can interact directly with the speaker. Nandan,
Yeah, and then you can interact.
can you repeat that question again, Mahima?
Yeah, sir. Yeah, yeah. So I have listened in some university there is non-STEM. Why?
Like here, universities are divided according to their rankings in US Tier 1 universities, Tier 2 universities, and Tier 3 universities. Like some universities are like from the Tier 3 universities, they also provide agriculture courses, and their courses are under non-STEM because they don't have any kind of good recognitions in the US. But if you pursue your master's degree in agriculture from Tier 1 and Tier 2 universities, that their courses comes under the STEM. And Tier 3 universities, they don't have any kind of good recognitions in US. Like students pay their fees and just grab the degree without doing anything. Just they require fees and tuition from the students and giving them degrees. But in the Tier 1 and Tier 2 university, you have to compete, you have to work hard, like your degrees with the thesis, and that is the STEM. Like it's depend on the choosing which you choosing the university. You are going in a good reputed university, or you are going in a not a good reputed university, just paying the fees and get your degree. Those kind of degrees are like not work here.
Okay, sir. Um, so what about post-study work visa (OPT)?
Yeah, like if you pursue STEM courses, you have 3 years of post work permit. You can work here in the US, and after that you can able to extend that OPT periods. Depend on your company which you are working. They are providing you sponsorships to work more.
Sir, one question is there from my side,
Yeah,
sir. Like,
yeah.
sir, is your research funded by any specific organizations, and are you collaborating with other researchers or institution?
Like here in US, this kind of funding things works like this. Like you have state fundings, you have national fundings, and some agriculture companies also provide you funding to the professor for a specific projects they want to be conducted in that year. Like my project is like on the nitrogen leaching managements, and it is funding by the state of Florida. Like state governments provide us the funds to my professors, like 5 million to 10 millions US dollars, and conduct this project. And this project is going from last 4 or 5 years, and all of the funding of this project comes from the state of Florida. And the government provides funds to the university, and university provides funds to the professor to work on this specifically in this thing and conduct this research, what's the outcomes, and submitting reports to the state of Florida that this is our project, this is things we have done this years, and that's how these things are going on. But also funding also comes from like any sources, like from the private companies. Also private, they also want their trials to be conducted on farmers field. If they want to check their any kind of their fertilizers responses to the crop, any their new variety released, any their products they want to check on the specific crops, they provide the funding and the projects to the professor. Like we want to check this product in your field, how this product responds to that particular crop. They provide the funding, and professor will conduct that research and submit the outcomes to them. Like various sources of fundings the universities and professors receive.
So one question is there, like, what is your total costing for masters in USA?
It's depend on the universities. Like for like some universities, your tuition fees is around 30 or 35,000 US dollars. For some universities, it's like 25,000 US dollars. And with the tuition fees, you also have one on 1,500 living expenses with also like you have to face. But if you are securing any positions and scholarships, you don't need to worry about any kind of these things. Your tuition fees is waived off. Your living expenses also comes from the professor's funding. You just need to study and work.
So, hey, Mahima,
Yeah, yeah, sorry.
let me continue it, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, by my side, it will be like as like a guest, means you are the like expert of the entrance as like a guest. You will be
Hey,
I was
Saurav,
the
I'm
host,
I'm not able to listen you properly.
but
Uh,
mm, I didn't hosted it kind of like in that possible form.
I,
I think sort of facing some network issue. Mahima, you can wrap it up.
oh, yeah, okay, ma'am. I'm wrapping up. Okay.
Can we earn money during master?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Saurabh, and a huge thank you to
Just
our.
Mahima, I think that there is one more question from Vikas. He wanted to ask, sir, we can we earn money during masters? Of course, you can, I guess. Vikas,
yeah,
please, like,
if you are on any assistantships and things, you are not able to work outside, like your working hours are completed here with your lab. And if you are not any kind of in assistantship, you can work 40 hours a week in week, and you can work outside and earn money.
One more question is there, sir.
Yep.
If students didn't get any assistantship, then is it possible to manage the expenses like tuitions, fees, living expenses while doing part-time job?
Like with the part-time job, I saw here like students are only able to manage their monthly living expenses and saving a little money. They are not fully able to, like if you are working part-time, you are not able to pay your whole tuition fee. You just you can manage only your living expenses, your groceries, your things, but you are not fully, like if you work part time and you are thinking that you are able to pay your fees also, and that thing, no, I don't think so that kind of thing works. Like tuition fees is so high here in universities.
Okay, so
all right.
ma'am, now we can
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Vikas, for joining us and helping and guiding agriculture, you students, and overall helping agriculture community to, uplift agriculture community. So I'm very happy to hear you overall, and helping student out with and solving all the questions they are having. And I think, yeah, thank you so much, Vikas, for joining us.
Thank you so much, Kashish, for inviting me here and interact with